This Blender tutorial primarily focuses on animation inside Blender. If you're completely new to Blender, I would recommend watching other few videos around the basics and modeling that are in my channel. Let's start with the tutorial. To create the stick of the popsicle, I'll switch to the top view, then switch to the wireframe mode, and then enter into the edit mode. I'll select these vertices on the top, grab them by pressing G and move it along the y-axis by pressing Y and press 4. This way it moves 4 points towards the positive y-axis. Now similarly, select these vertices, grab them and move them on the negative y-axis by 4 points. And here we have some geometry like this. Now if I have a look at it, it looks pretty thick to be a stick. So I'll switch to the edge selection, select all, press S and press Z to scale it on the Z axis. For now this looks good. I'll switch to the right view and select these edges. And to create a curvature, I'll press Ctrl B. And you may see something like this happening. And then scroll to increase the cut points over here. And when we have our desired geometry, press Enter or maybe left click to drop it right there. Now we have some geometry like this. I'll press A to select all, scale it more on the Z-axis to shrink it on the Z-axis to make it a little thinner, just like a popsicle stick. And if we switch to the top view, we have pretty decent geometry for the stick. Now I'll press Tab and exit the edit mode. Let's see how it looks in the solid mode. It looks pretty neat. To create the ice cream or the popsicle, I'll press Shift A, mesh, add another cube, switch to the top view, then scale it a little. Something like this. Grab it and move it on the y-axis. Then press Tab to enter into the edit mode. Select the wireframe preview and select these edges. And grab it on the y-axis, and yeah, this looks good. And then select these edges, scale it on the x-axis. Now we have some geometry like this. We'll select all by pressing A, scale it on the z-axis. This looks fine. Now I'll switch to the preview on the right, and now I'll select these edges over here. Again, I've selected these to create a bevel. So I'll switch to the top view, press Ctrl B, and here we have some geometry like this. This looks really nice. I'll click to drop it, and then press Tab to exit the edit mode. Then have a look at the solid view. This looks pretty neat. Now I'll go to the modifiers tab. As this seems a little too edgy, we'll add another bevel modifier and increase the segments. Now our popsicle has started to come out. We can also select the object, right click and shade smooth, and we can do the same for stick. Now I want this stick to move along with our ice cream on the popsicle. I'll just rename these popsicle and stick. I will click on this and press Shift and drag it inside the popsicle to pair it under popsicle. So if I select popsicle now and grab it, the stick moves along with it. Once our desired model is ready, we would want to apply some materials. We will go to the materials tab we'll select the object that we want to apply material to. At first I'll select the stick. There's already a material assigned to it. I'll rename it to stick. Switch to material preview. Assign it to design color. That is similar to the color of Word. This looks fine to me. Then I'll assign some color to this and check here. Let's say they're creating and glue them in ice spot or something like that. So once it's ready, I'll go to the front view, select the ice pop, press R, and rotate it on the X-axis by pressing X by 90 degrees. And now this is our front view. I press Z and switch to the render view. Here we have a point light source. I'll increase its size, grab it and move it here. That's how it looks from the top angle. The placement is okay. I'll duplicate one color, grab it, move it on the X-axis, and turn like this. Increase the wattage to a certain watt. Let's increase the size of it and increase the wattage a little more. Then press Shift K, mesh, add a plane, scale it, make it big, press R, X, and 90, and grab it and move it backwards on the Y-axis. In your camera, I'll change the camera settings to it. Put 18, 8 degrees. The axis screens and you go on the X-axis. I want the ice pop to the center, so I enter 0 with yours, then start moving into the Y-axis. It will have the all ice pop in my view. And go on to the mean and to be straight. No other than that, clicks. Y-axis. Let's select the background, create a new material for it, rename it PNG, and assign it to complement in color. You do it with a fiber. And I also add a sun light source to give it a feel of infinite light falling on it. So I switch at the right angle, rotate it. Let's help make the pulses way too bright and increase the angle first of all. And one also change for the camera to something like this. We can also change the rotation. Pressing this yellow icon over here. Then I'll switch back to the camera view, and now we'll begin with the animation. To begin with the animation, I'll select this ice pop over here. Then move to my 30th frame because I want one second of pause from the beginning when the animation starts. And the animation I want to do is to rotate this around this anchor point over here. So I'll insert a keyframe. I'll press pi over here when my cursor is at rotation. Else I can also press K and then press rotation from this menu. And I want it to be of 1 second length. And I want it to rotate 360 degrees. Nice. Add another keyframe. The helps to be sent over there, and the helps created our animation. So at play front swing, Very soon if has some free animation like this. How as you can see, our animation is a little too linear. It doesn't look very natural and then not very appealing at least. So we'll switch to animation tab over here, click on it, and we have a note sheet at the bottom right. I select to which one to the graph editor. Click and see. You have these graphs over here. Else and what you think. And with the graph, we could see there's an anchor point over here. I'll click on this anchor point and play around with the graph. And see how my animation gets affected. So it starts really quick and ends really slow. So this looks really appealing to me. Now I want multiple ice pops having the same animation and they play at different time scales. So for that, I would click on this ice pop stick and then ice pop and press Shift D to duplicate it. Switch to the top view and grab it on the y-axis. Again duplicate it, grab it on the y-axis. Again duplicate once more, grab it on the y-axis. I would want 5 of these. This looks great. And if I play my animation, place this way. And if I have a look at my camera, we'll see that we can only spot one ice pop. I want all of these time to play at different points. I'll select one of these and select all by pressing all the keyframes. Grab it, move it 5 frames apart. Then I'll select these 3 and grab the 2 keyframes, move 5 frames, I'm sorry. Then deselect this. Do the same for these. And let's see how it animates. Play my animation. Deselect everything by Option A or Alt A. Let's see. Oh, this looks really nice. I might also decrease the delay in between these. This looks amazing. So if we play this from the beginning, it looks something like this. And the animation ends at 70th frame. We would want it to run till 90. So we'll enter 90 at the end of the timeline. So we have limited our animation to 90 frames. Considering we are making a 30 frames per second animation, we have 3 seconds of animation material over here. And as the initial and final frame appear to be the same, it's a looping animation. So we are ready with our animation. Now we are going to render it. So how do we render it? I'll go to my render settings. We have render samples over here. And I'll also enable ray tracing, which gives us a better output. And I'll go to the output tab and then select folder. I'll create a folder on my desktop and name it Ice Pop. Accept it. And then I go to render tab and render animation. You can see animation render has begun. This is the first frame that has been rendered, and so on. If we render all of times, and then we can combine it within Blender to create an MP4. Once all of our frames are rendered, we'll close this and we'll switch from 3D viewport to video sequencer. After coming over here, we'll add an image sequence from the folder that we rendered our PNGs into. I'll select the first one and then shift click on the last one, select all, and then add image strip. Now I'll move it over here from 1 to 90. In my output properties, I'll change the file format from PNG to FFmpeg. In encoding, I'll change the container to MPEG-4. Video codec is correct. Under output quality, I'll select perceptually lossless because lossless is the best output quality, but perceptually lossless appears very similar to lossless, and it is also very much optimized in space. We'll select this and change the encoding speed to the slowest, which gives us an optimum output. And we'll go here and render animation. Once the render is finished, we can check in the drive. We have an animation ready over here. I hope this tutorial was helpful. If you have any specific requirements that you want to learn, tell me in the comment box. Please share this with your friends, like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.